Okay, hi, welcome to this vlog. In this one, I am doing a collab with a bunch of friends, and we're trying to see if the book community pranked us on some of their recommendations. In today's video, I'm going to be reading Flawless by Elsie Silver. I've been seeing this bounce around the romance community for a very long time, so I figured I would come in and give my 2 cents on this. I am filming this intro at the outro, actually, so you will get my full thoughts at the end of this video in this same outfit. So with that said, let's dive into this video. Hi, so I'm here for a quick update. So I have now started Flawless by Elsie Silver. So in this setup, we have a rodeo guy, a bull rider named Rhett, and Rhett made some really bad PR decisions, and so now Summer, who is the daughter of his normal PR agent who is getting into PR, has been assigned to be his babysitter. That's basically all that's really happened. One thing that's unique about this, at least for me, is I've not read a cowboy-style romance set in Canada, which is kind of cool. That's something I haven't really experienced before in my reading, so I think that will be good. My biggest hang-up right now is our hero is acting like a grown man-child. And I don't do well with grown man-children stories. So, unless he changes pretty quickly, this one may be a flop for me. And I can see why people like the writing for sure. I think Elsie Silver's writing is great. I think I would definitely pick up something else by her at this point. But I don't know that this story is my kind of story. So, there's that. I don't have too much else to say. I'm only 10% in. So, I'll update you guys again when I get to about the 25% mark, whatever the nearest chapter to the 25% mark is. And then I'll have some more thoughts at that point. But for now, I kind of see what everybody loves about it, and I kind of don't see what everybody loves about it. So I'm in the middle here. So we'll see how I feel at the end of that. Hello. So I needed to update this vlog because I'm starting to have some feelings. So I'm 15% in, so I've only read another 5% so far. But in the last chapter, there was something that happened in the writing that I don't know how to feel about yet. So I kind of wanted to talk about it. Basically, they're sitting, like, the hero and the heroine are having a conversation. She's now at his home. Things have started to settle into place for the rest of the book to take place. And while this is going on in this first, like, meeting that they're kind of having, she says he's sitting there just manspreading, and I'm just like, why are we using this term? Why? Yes, he's a big guy. We know that. But you don't need to sit there and talk about him manspreading. I don't need that visual. Thanks. Like, that doesn't feel pertinent to this particular moment. It doesn't feel pertinent to what should be happening right now. And the fact that our heroine even noticed felt weird. So right now, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure that this is my trope because this is a 32-year-old man who needs a babysitter. So I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm going to keep going. I'll read probably another 10% unless something like that happens again. And we will chat once I get to the 25-ish% mark. Okay, so I'm back. I'm currently on sprints reading these. So that's why I'm like in the same situation, in the same outfit. So I'm now at 25% of Flawless. And I don't get it. So this hero is a chauvinistic ass, and I just can't with him. Like, he's the things he's thinking about this heroine are the things like the creepy guys think, like the stalker guys think. This is not what our hero should be thinking about our heroine. And I mean, I'm fine with a hero appreciating the heroine's body. You know, that's not an issue for me. It's the way this is written that makes it come across like leering and creepy and almost stalkerish. And like, he made this comment about her pajamas because she was wearing like a cute silky set of bottoms and a top. And as she was walking away, he's like, if she's on my team, I hope this is the new team uniform, and things like that just feel icky. Like they're not something I would want a man to say to me, or romantic interest to say to me, male or female, or non-binary for that matter. I don't care. And potential interest, I would not want them to be thinking that or saying those things about me, because that just feels disrespectful. And so this hero is coming across degrading and chauvinist, and I just am having a tough time. So at this point, this hero feels very unredeemable or irredeemable. I don't know which one's the proper one. Whichever one's proper, that one here. So I'm still going to keep going. I'm not giving up on this for you. I wonder if it gets better, but right now at 25% in, like, I don't get it with the hero. I really like our heroine. Summer's great. Rhett's an ass. And, like, he's just a pouting man-child. That is really what Rhett is, and I just don't get why people love Rhett so much. I don't. Nope. I don't get it. No way. Do not understand. Does not compute. Please give more input. That's where I'm at. Hi, y'all. It's the next day. We're in the same spot. I just don't have my screen up behind me for a live stream. I'll have that up later. But I'm only another like 6% into Flawless, and I already have more to say. So we just had this whole, like, in this 5%, essentially, she finally sees him ride for the first time, and she really can understand and see why he loves it in a way. But she also sees that his body is physically hurting. So he won't see the doctor, so she goes to the pharmacy in the cold by herself to buy him all these things to help him feel better. And of course, he's trying to be a petulant child when she shows up to help him. But then he finally lets her help, and, like, as soon as she's done, like, helping, like, he has to go jerk off. Like, seriously, what is with this man? He is so turned on by her rubbing, like, icy hot into his hurt muscles that he has to go and jerk off immediately. Like, that's just a little too much for me. Like, it's one thing if he's, like, thinking about it later and it does something for him, like, but to immediately have to go and jerk himself off, like, come on. He's a 32-year-old man. He has more self-control than this. Like, it's really hard for me to suspend my disbelief with him. Like I say, I really like Summer. I think she's a great heroine, and I think the way she is written is quite lovely. But I am not on board with this hero. Like, the more into this I get, the more I feel that. So I'm going to get to at least 50% before I decide if I'm DNFing this, because I might. Like, again, I don't get it with this book. Like, how did this book hook people onto her writing? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, at this point, I would probably pick up another book from her just because I like our heroine enough. But, man, I cannot with this hero. Like, he is just a stubborn man-child. And, like, he's afraid of what he'll be other than a bull rider. And I'm like, okay, I get it to an extent. I was a hairdresser for a very long time, and I didn't know what I'd be after being a hairdresser for a long time. So, in a sense, I get that part. But at the same time, his body's been telling him no for years, that he needs to stop. And he's not doing it. So he's just being a stubborn ass because he's afraid of what it could be. So, I don't know. I have a hard time getting on board with that. But we'll see how much further in this book I actually read. I did not expect to have this much to say already. We'll just put it that way. Hi, it's me again. So I'm now 45% of the way through Flawless. And okay, here's my thing. Like, it's getting a little better. And there are certain things about Rhett that I can, like, see, I guess, why people like him. But, like, we're still almost halfway through this book, and I am not on board with him as a hero. Now, this might be me projecting my ex onto him because there were a lot of things, especially early on, that were traits in my ex-husband that ended up being big problems for us in the long run. So I may be projecting some. So this may be a me issue, and I'm going to fully put that out there. So don't at me for my opinions here. But I'm still having a really hard time being on board with him. They've just kissed for the first time now. And some of the descriptors of the kiss I didn't necessarily love. Like, she talked about his, like, hand on her neck a lot. Like, there's a thing about a hero, like, grabbing the back of a heroine's head, and I like that. But the, like, thing about her neck almost feels, like, choky. And that's not the kind of book this is. So I don't know how to feel about that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to read at least 5% more before I make a final decision on whether I'm going to keep going or not. But there have been some doozy of lines in the last 10%. One, he compared himself to a creepy Ted Bundy watching her sleep. There was that. And then he basically made a comment like, dang, she's short, but she has curves in all the right places. And like, he's literally coming across as the creepy guy. And I don't love how that feels. Like, you're not supposed to be creeped out by your hero. And I'm a little bit creeped out by this guy. At least his internal monologues. Because most of my complaints have been internal monologues for him. So the things he says to her aren't so bad. But now, like, I don't know. I just don't know, guys. Like, I get it, but I don't. And again, I think this particular book is just definitely not a good fit for me because of the hero Rhett. Like, he is just... And, like, he just had this, like, tantrum in the doctor's office about how everybody treats him like a kid and all this stuff, and they treat him as irresponsible. I'm like, well, dude, you just, like, crapped where you live, dude. Like, you blew up your own sponsorships on your own by making a comment. Yeah, it got blown out of proportion. I'll give it that. But still, like, you're not doing much for damage control either, despite what your people in your camp have told you. So you can only blame them so much when it's you. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know, guys. Like, I wanted to love this book. I did. I went in with such high expectations. And maybe that's part of it, is I went in with too high of expectations. But at the same time, nobody has talked about how bad this hero is. And again, I may be projecting my ex onto him a bit. But, like, I'm sorry. My hero should not be comparing himself to Ted Bundy. That is creepy, y'all. Why has nobody talked about this when I hear you talk about this book? What the heck? Am I just in the wrong corner of YouTube or something where everybody just loves this? Like, I don't know. Anyways, I'll be back with at least one more clip. We'll see how I feel at that point. Hi again. So I've officially reached 50% in Flawless. And basically, I do think I'm going to keep going. Just because this last 5%, the hero kind of had a pretty good smack in the face style wake-up call into how he's been treating our heroine. And I think there's going to be some changes in how he treats her. And that feels better to me. So I will keep going at this point. But at this point, I don't think it's going to get above a 3-star, if I even give it that. It might be 2. I don't know. There's just been some things that really hit me wrong with this one. And again, I don't think that's necessarily Elsie Silver's fault. There is a lot in this man that reminds me of my ex-husband. There have been other books that have been this way for me that a lot of other people love. So it's the grown man-child thing that I have a really tough time with. You know, and he admits that he doesn't want to look beyond what he's currently doing to figure out his future, even though his body's not keeping up. And, like, he's slowly been acknowledging that she's put him on a routine that's actually helping his body. And he hasn't been taking good care of himself until she came along. And so, basically, it feels like our hero is wanting a mother, not a romantic partner. And he even said that he was going to do something for negative attention because any attention from Summer was worth it for him. And I'm like, this is like my problem with you, dude. You're seeking attention so hard. And you're seeking her attention for the wrong reasons. So then he kind of seemed to have a breakthrough after that moment which is why I think I'm going to keep going for now. I think y'all will appreciate me continuing to go and see how I feel by the end. But again, I think the max of this will be a 3, if not lower. Like, that's just where I'm at with this one. I think I'm done reading it for today, honestly. You know, I've read 30% of it today. I'll read some more over the next couple days, but yeah. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. Okay, so where you last saw, I was at the 50% mark in Flawless. I am DNFing it at the 50%. I read that like 5 days ago, and I cannot bring myself to pick it back up. So I'm just going to DNF it. I've got way too many things that I'm excited to read to force myself through a book that I'm not enjoying. Now, do I think Elsie Silver is a bad writer? No, I don't. Like I say, I loved the heroine. There's a lot about this book that I can understand why people like it. This is just not a hero for me. Period. End of story. He is not for me. He reminds me way too much of my ex-husband. So, with that said, I think Flawless and its setup are just not for me. I am not here for a grown man child as my hero in a romance novel. That is just not where I'm at in my life. I cannot deal, and it's not okay. At the 50% mark, he was only just barely starting to show that he had an opportunity to change, and by the end, he probably does, but in my situations, you know, my ex would change for short periods of time, and, you know, things would backtrack and stuff. And I'm sure in reality, that's what would happen with this couple. So I cannot root for their happily ever after, which is why I'm stopping and not putting myself through anymore. I mean, the hero compared himself to Ted Bundy in the creepy factor. Like, no. I am still interested in Heartless, but I might take a little while to have some distance from Flawless before I try Heartless, because this is kind of just not left the best taste in my mouth. So sadly for me on Flawless, it is a bit of a prank. I don't think y'all really talk about this correctly. I mean, if you like it, I'm not going to yuck your yum, but it's not for me. And so yeah, that's where I'm leaving this video. I'm sorry it wasn't a win. I really wanted it to be, which is why I chose it. But sadly, I didn't know enough about the hero to enjoy this one. But it hasn't put me off reading Elsie Silver forever, so don't worry. I don't hate the author. This isn't out here to bash the author at all. This is just, you know, I've come across other books where there were triggers for me, or the hero was a lot like my ex, so I didn't enjoy it. So this is not uncommon. I just wasn't expecting it from this particular setup. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. All of my collab partners are listed down below. Don't forget to go follow them and check out their videos. I'm sure we'll have a playlist going by the time we get this up. So thank you all so much for watching. If you're here just because you love me, leave me your favorite color of heart emoji to match my shirt, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
It's been raining for days now, been running like a child. Can't feel the cold, well I'm lost here with you, lost in the woods. Lost as I should.